Navjot Kaur is the author of the children's book A Lion's Mane. The SEEQ team were able to catch up with her, talk about the book and the lack of non-fiction Sikh stories and several other topics.
Thank you for inviting me to be part of SEEQ magazine. I'm Navjot Kaur and I'm the author of A Lion's Mane. A Lion's Mane is a children's picture book that was published in September 2009, which talks about the Sikh identity from the point of view of a young boy who's trying to figure out who he really is. It's a picture book that encompasses global cultures and takes him on a journey around the world to cultures past and present to really find out how the Dastar binds us as a global community and how those traits and characteristics that define us as a Sikh are also very collective as part of a global community too. The target audience for A Lion's Mane has been from the ages of about 7 to 11, but it has really been enjoyed by younger and older age groups as well. Writing has been something I've felt very connected to from a very young age. It helps me to explore and constantly reflect. So I really enjoy writing. This particular story, A Lion's Mane, was actually inspired by my young son. And it's often when you're faced with great challenges in your life that you really begin writing from your heart, and you're really inspired by things that you're feeling very strongly about. And that's how A Lion's Mane was born. My son was diagnosed with hearing loss a few years ago, and it was that fear, I think, that inspired A Lion's Mane, because I began wondering how he was going to deal with the visible identity of being deaf as well as his Sikh identity, and being able to balance both and becoming a very strong and compassionate individual. When I walk into my local bookstore or library, I want to be able to see books that my son can relate to as much as any other child that walks into a local bookstore or library. I think it's really important that all children feel represented in the books that they read and the books that they see on shelves. So I'm not sure if literature has evolved so much since I was a child, and the Amrit Chitra Katha books were the be-all and end-all of our books on our library shelves. So those were great books at the time. They were great graphic books that are becoming quite popular these days, but they talked from a single perspective, and they weren't really developed as far as stories that tell about a Sikh character or Sikh identity incidentally in a regular story. So that's where I think there's a lot of room still for development. If you look at the larger publishers and the books that are being published today in the current market, they're often still books about the Sikh faith, non-fiction themes, and they're still not really thinking about the Sikh identity, the visible identity of Sikhs that can still be included in literature for children. And so I'm really hoping that there are so many budding authors out there with great ideas, and I hope that they will be inspired to develop their ideas and create the future literature for children. Jaspreet Sandhu is the illustrator for A Lion's Mane, and she is a filmmaker and artist based in Toronto, Canada. A Lion's Mane is her first published work. The process is quite interesting when you work with an illustrator. If you work with traditional publishers, you probably won't get as much say as what happens with the illustrations. But when you're working on a smaller scale, it's quite nice because you can work one-on-one with the illustrator and really talk through the text and the illustrations to ensure that the themes and the colours and ranges really work well and complement each other. And I think that's really evident in the vibrant colours and the flow of the illustrations throughout the story with the red Dastar. And so I think the illustrations have worked really well, given that the one-on-one relationship and really being able to think about every single detail about the story as the process evolved. I think if you love writing, you have to learn to persevere, because it's quite the rocky road. I would research markets, I would join writing groups, I would try and read as many magazines as possible on the craft of writing, and really familiarize yourself with your target audience and books that are already out there in the market that are similar to what you want to write about. I think as a writer, it's really important to keep a writer's notebook. It's a notebook in which you write all of your ideas, your thoughts, your questions, things that you feel strongly about, things that you see, cut out quotes, cut out pictures, anything that you can find, you put it in there, and those become your little gems that develop beautiful stories later on. We really appreciate the support that's been shown for A Lion's Mane. It's been just so wonderful to hear the little anecdotes from parents who've told us that their son's been asking to wear his dastar for the first time to school after reading the book. And our wonderful non-Sikh friends who've shared stories about how their children are running around the house roaring like lions based on reading the book. So it's been just so great to hear that it's touched audiences on different levels from different perspectives. And it's been a story that a lot of different people can connect to. Teachers and librarians have been our greatest advocates. They've been using the book as a mentor text to talk about bigger issues like bias and stereotype and discrimination. So it's been a great springboard for dialogue, as well as education, as well as just children having a lot of fun roaring like lions. My new title, Dreams of Hope, it's a father's lullaby to his daughter as she's falling asleep. So it's just a beautifully warm story that just touches on the beauty of putting your child to sleep and what you could be talking about or thinking about during that process, and making it such a soothing, warm time of the day where we really need to invest more in reading to our children, reading with our children, so that they understand and value reading other than just academic reading. And I think that's really important for the South Asian community. I think we need to ensure that that is something that we value as much as other things in our life, because it grows our children's vocabulary, it grows our children's mind, to ensure that they, are developing in this global world, and they understand the meaning of citizenship and compassion, which are so integral to the Sikh identity. Shabad Gurbani is part of me, it's part of who I am, it's what I turn to when I need inspiration, when I need guidance. So it's definitely an integral part of me. One of my favorite shabads is probably Manas ki jaat ek pehchan, because I think it's so important that we understand other people and other cultures, other identities, as much as we would like to be understood and appreciated as a Sikh in this world. So I think it's really important for us to learn as much about other people, other identities, other languages, as well as ensuring that people understand who we are as Sikhs. A Lion's Mane is available from the publisher's website, www.saffronpress.com. That is based in Canada. So if you're looking for a place in the UK, please support your local bookstores and libraries and ask them to order you a copy. It should be readily available for them from Bertram's in the UK. But of course, you can also order online at the Book Depository and Amazon too. I really thank you for inviting me to be part of SEEQ magazine, and I look forward to hearing from your audience. I have an author website, www.navjotkaur.com, so please feel free to communicate, and I'll be happy to hear from you. Thank you.